We have some serious breaking news this morning, and I know I say that a lot, but this is a very serious development. This morning, the United States Secret Service has announced that it has dismantled a covert telecommunications network spread across 5 locations in the New York City area, 35 miles in and around New York City, seizing more than 300 SIM servers, 100,000 SIM cards, illegal firearms, drugs, and electronic equipment. Officials said that the network allowed anonymous encrypted communications between criminal enterprises and potential threat actions, including the use to transmit assassination threats against senior United States officials. This network essentially could disable cell phone towers, block emergency services, or launch denial of service attacks on police and EMS communications. This comes on the same day that the United Nations General Assembly begins in New York City, where almost every single world leader from around the world will meet. Donald Trump will be speaking today at the United Nations General Assembly, but this is a very serious security concern, and officials are now investigating whether this network was designed to disrupt the United Nations General Assembly and interfere with government and emergency communications during the gathering of world leaders. Secret Service officials stress that the devices no longer pose a threat, and agents are actively combing through the SIM data to identify those responsible. This discovery followed a surge in telecommunications-related threats to U.S. officials earlier this year, but let me just put this to you in perspective. This network could have shut down the entire cell system in New York during one of the most important summits of the year. Important not just in gravity because it's the United Nations General Assembly, but important because right now New York is essentially on lockdown. World leaders from every country, or almost every country around the globe, along with their staff, along with senior diplomats, along with senior executives, they're all in one city at the same time. And at the same time, it's Climate Week in New York, which means that executives like Bill Gates and others are also in the city. This is in a lot of ways one of the most consequential weeks for New York every single year. And this network could have completely crippled anything New York does, could have shut down New Yorkers' cell phones, could have prevented communications, could have ensured, essentially, that if there was a tragedy in New York, if there was a terrorist attack, for example, that authorities would not be able to respond in time. And well, thankfully, Secret Service caught it before anything serious happened. But it is a very serious situation, and we'll get more information soon. So make sure to subscribe to my Substack by clicking the button below to support my work, or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. Now, meanwhile, Sinclair Broadcasting Group, which owns about 38 ABC affiliates across the country, announced that it will not be airing Jimmy Kimmel Live despite Disney bringing the show back, instead deciding to air local news to push coordinated conservative messaging while demanding that Kimmel apologize and donate to Turning Point USA and the Kirk family over his comments about Kirk. Jimmy Kimmel's coming back, but that doesn't mean you're going to see him. In areas across the country, Sinclair will continue to preempt the broadcasting of his show. Yesterday, Donald Trump gave a very wide-ranging, one of the most wild press conferences I had ever seen, where he linked Tylenol use while pregnant to autism. And today, world leaders and World Health agencies have come out saying, don't listen to Donald Trump. The World Health Organization rejected Trump's claims linking Tylenol to autism, stressing that the evidence for such a link is, quote, inconsistent, and reaffirms that vaccines are proven to save lives and do not cause autism. The United Kingdom's health ministry, which is one of the closest allies to the United States, urged UK citizens to ignore Trump's false claims, citing a major 2024 Swedish study and reaffirming the safety of Tylenol use while pregnant, while health groups and autism advocates condemned Trump's remarks as dangerous and demeaning. Former CDC official Deborah Howry and other experts also refuted this Tylenol to autism claim, citing multiple studies that found no link between prenatal acetaminophen use and autism, ADHD, or intellectual disabilities, warning that such fear-mongering could harm the care of pregnant women. So literally, all around the world, the United States is actively being rebuked this morning. Donald Trump signed an executive order late last night designating Antifa as a domestic terrorism organization, following through on a pledge made after the assassination of Kirk. Now, here's the only problem for Trump. Antifa is more of a thought piece rather than a centralized organization. Antifa itself is decentralized, right? It doesn't have one central leader, one central hub. And so it's really unclear how he's able to police Antifa and designate the organization as a terrorist group when it's not actually an organization. Ahead of today's UN General Assembly address, the White House criticized countries recognizing Palestinian statehood, with Trump's press secretary calling it a reward to Hamas and suggesting that the president will be discussing it during his speech. Later this week, Donald Trump will be sitting down with Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to negotiate healthcare spending and a bill to keep the government funded. Right now, there will be a government shutdown in 1 week if these leaders do not act, if Republicans do not act. So we will see what happens there. A new CNN report found that over 100 U.S. citizen children have been left stranded without parents this year, amid the Trump administration's escalated immigration crackdown, with parents deported in raids or routine ICE check-ins, often without time to arrange care. Experts warn that this new wave of family separations is causing long-lasting trauma, destabilizing these children's lives forever. Lindsay Halligan, a former Florida insurance lawyer and Trump aide, was sworn in as interim U.S. attorney, replacing Eric Siebert in the Eastern District of Virginia, who, if you recall, resigned under pressure from Donald Trump after overseeing investigations into Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, and former FBI Director James Comey. According to a new issue brief from Georgetown Law's Center on Privacy and Technology, it warns that the U.S. government's DNA collection program, initially expanded through immigration powers, is now extending to United States citizens with little oversight, raising significant concerns about mass genetic surveillance and its use in future policing and prosecution. Former Vice President Kamala Harris offered a lukewarm endorsement of New York mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, appearing last night on Rachel Maddow's show, saying that she endorses the Democrat in the race, while highlighting the party's big tent and highlighting other Democratic candidates nationwide. Hungary has defied Donald Trump's demand that NATO allies stop buying Russian oil, with Foreign Minister Peter Sichardo insisting that the country cannot ensure safe energy supplies without Russian imports. And finally, mysterious drone swarm forced the closure of Copenhagen and Oslo airports in what Danish officials called the most serious attack on national infrastructure to date. It's unclear whether Russia was behind it, although all signs do point to Russia. That's all the news right now. As always, make sure to subscribe to support, and I'll see you this evening.
Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.